Hey, this is Shiraz, and before we get started, I just want to let you know that when I clear something for someone, when I cause a shift, I tend to yawn and cough from the energetic shift that happens. I don't know why it happens. It's just how my body works. And if you don't know that, you're going to listen to this video and go, what the hell is wrong with this guy? You might still think that, but now there's more of an explanation. The other thing to keep in mind is that if you hear something that you can absolutely relate to, when I cleared for them, you can get it cleared for you too. Just say yes when they're saying yes, and it works. I have people that watch these videos every morning to get stuff cleared. This can be your new morning habit too. Okay, that's enough for that. Let's get on with the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you get a great shift out of it. See you soon.
Um, we've been doing some work and I have my busiest week yet. And now I'm like,
Okay.
with amount of work and the fatigue that I'm afraid of having and all that kind of good stuff.
Okay. So you had your busiest week yet.
Oh, I have it coming up this week.
Oh, you have it coming up. Oh,
Yes.
so you're already going into anxiety about the busyness.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So why are you choosing to be in anxiety about the busyness rather than excitement of the business that you're doing?
Because of stories in my head.
Yes, that is correct. Okay.
Because I I emotionally, mentally, and physically hit points that I am overwhelmed
Okay.
and aren't able to function at high level, and I don't like hitting that.
Okay. So right now, your priority is to make sure you don't hit the overwhelm.
Yeah, to some extent, yes. Yes.
Yeah. So your mindset is not in I'm going to create flow
Right.
through this week. It's I'm going to have to make sure I don't hit the overwhelm.
Yes.
Okay. So in trying not to hit the overwhelm,
Mm-hmm.
you are in resistance. You are manifesting reasons to show that the overwhelm will occur, and you
Right.
will start to shut down things so that like cause people not to show up, or you might get sick or
Right.
whatever. So you don't, because this is your priority.
Right.
So when you stop trying not to hit the overwhelm and your priority comes to, okay, now let's just create flow, then everything can calm down and just
Right.
come into a space of equilibrium. So are you willing to step out of the story that your priority needs to be to not get overwhelmed?
I want to say yes.
I know, but it's not moving there. It's just,
I know.
how
I
do you
know.
get the yes out? So what you're doing is you're looking at all the evidence of overwhelm in your past
Yes.
and saying, well, that's just what's going to happen again.
Right.
Rather than saying, well, I was in a story that I always go into overwhelm, therefore I had to create overwhelm because that's my story.
Okay. All
If
right.
I change my story, then all that evidence of this is what happens to me
I see.
becomes invalid because the story has changed.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start there. Are you willing to step out of the story that when things get busy, you always get overwhelmed?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah, there's some energy on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So now are you willing to step out of the story that your priority has to be to avoid overwhelm?
Yes. Sort of. Not totally. Not totally. I have to be, I'm honest with you. You know that.
Yes. No, that's good. I like that. Okay. So right now it's still like, no, I have to avoid this overwhelm. I have to avoid this overwhelm.
Yeah.
So your thoughts are constantly about overwhelm and not about flow, not about peace, not about happiness.
It's about peace and happiness as long as I'm not overwhelmed.
So that's overwhelm. We're back to overwhelm.
No, I know.
Right? Right. So as long as that word is in your mind, as long as the image of what that felt like is in your mind, you're locked into it.
Yes.
which means you're also unconsciously creating more of it.
I know.
Okay.
So,
So
I'm
this is
aware of
okay.
this.
So this is also where those audios come in handy to train your brain to think of just, oh, this just feels good. This is the space I live in. Do
Right.
that over and over again until your mind says, well, that's just where I live.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. This is going to be a weird question. Does overwhelm keep you safe?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you're actually using overwhelm as a
At all.
protective mechanism. Okay. But it doesn't. It really doesn't, because at the same time, you're trying to avoid it.
I know.
Because it doesn't feel safe when you're overwhelmed, but you're feeling like overwhelm somehow keeps me safe from even worse things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does
It
because I
really doesn't. Those worst
wasn't.
things are just imagined.
I know. I know. Well, no, I had a lupus flare or anything else for years,
Yeah.
and what overwhelm keeps you from getting.
Yeah. Or instead of going into overwhelm, you can just go into flow and say, this is just happening, and I'm not, it's not affecting me because I'm just in flow.
Okay, and flow.
So here because it comes down to a decision, right? We were at a restaurant once, and it was lunchtime. It was jam packed with people, and we had this waitress, and all of us were really attracted to this waitress. And we were like, what is it about her? Because we're looking at the other waitresses, and they're beautiful women too, and there was something about her. And then I realized, I saw her come out of the kitchen with plates, and she was walking through this crowd, and she was just flowing. She was just moving like effortlessly. And the other waitresses were getting bumped up and like, oh, I'm sorry. And it's like they were in the chaos. She was
Right.
flowing through the chaos.
Right.
That's just because that's what she decided to do.
Right.
So you can't prevent the chaos. That's life, just throws chaos at you. But you can choose whether you're going to go into overwhelm the chaos or flow through it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And this thing that overwhelm is protecting you from more chaos is just the story, because if you're flowing, then even if there's more chaos, you're like, well, there's just more chaos.
Right. Right.
Okay. So are you willing to step out of the story that you need the overwhelm to protect you, to keep you safe?
Yes.
Now we know how you process. Okay.
You know how I process. I burp.
Okay.
I've told you I burped
I
before
know
even
you.
this.
And hey, I like when someone burps, it always reminds me of my friend Callie, because she used to burp. And she's like, is there any way I can process other than burping? Because it's like, I think some people think it's rude and it's disturbing. And we're like, no, everyone knows why you're here. Don't worry about it.
Right.
And then someone said, you can ask your body to process energy a different way and see if it shifts. So she said, body, please process this stuff any other way than burping. And so the
Oh
next
no.
time she was in a session, she
That's
started farting.
what
Right?
I was gonna say.
And it wasn't online, it was in a room, right? So you're like, you know what, burping works for me, let's stick
Burping
with
is
burping.
much better.
Okay, all right, so now are you willing to step out of the story that your priority needs to be to avoid overwhelm?
Yes. Yes. I'm not gonna hide it because
And I want people to understand, like, look how crazy the logic is. Overwhelm protects me, so I need to keep it in my life. But then consciously you think, I don't want any overwhelm. And you create this belief that my priority needs to be to avoid overwhelm, which on the surface looks like, well, that's a good thing, get out of overwhelm. But avoiding overwhelm keeps you locked in overwhelm, which overwhelm protects you. So it all works, right? Even though it doesn't actually do anything for you except stop success. Okay, how's that feel?
Better. I can flow through my week.
Yay, that was good. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a like. And if you had a shift of your own, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Also, check out the description for energetic magic events that you can attend every single month. Be well, be aware, and be magical.